Hello and welcome to the introduction to using the smartboard. We have it set up so it's straight from the off. You've got 7 buttons down the front for power. If you look at the front also, you've got an HDMI and a USB-C. So should you have your phone and you want to share your phone, you can plug in your phone into a USB-C into here, as well as an HDMI. So an HDMI, you may have an iPad that won't share directly to the screen, in which case you're able to use an HDMI to USB-C and plug it straight into the front and share it that way. You've also got some USB-A's down here, so if you have a document camera, you're able to use some of the apps in here that will connect directly to your document camera. Let's go and turn it on. Part of the 7 buttons you've got in here are your volume up, volume down. You've got a pause, as in a freeze screen. So before, on the old smart boards, you'd have had a freeze button on the remote control. You've also got a cover, so you can bring a shutter down and close the screen off completely, should you wish to do that. And then you've got your home button, which brings you back to this screen here. In here, I've got an HDMI, which is mirrored from my laptop. So in here, I'm going to go into my settings, and I'm able to demonstrate that from the previous video we will have our settings, so we can go and mirror our screens in here in our display settings. You need to make sure that the USB is connected so that the pens will work onto the screen itself, and you can take control of items that are on the screen. Within the smart software, you'll get a small on-screen dock that allows you to go and use the pens and change from the cursor to the pens, to the rulers, and all the other tools that you'll see in that circular menu on the screen. So when we go into our home, we have 5 buttons, including cleanup at the bottom. You've got your files, so just like your phone, you'll have your photographs and documents and PDFs and whatever that you probably downloaded from the browser. So this is an Android operating system. It gives a kind of desktop mobile hybrid to Chrome. You're able to sign into this with your school account. You're able to go and sign in, and you're able to go to just websites and places and web apps and things like that using the on-screen tools. So again, you'll have that floating menu. You'll be able to go and write and draw on here. While we're in here, you can see that you have a permanent menu on the left-hand side. So you've got things like widgets with dice. So if we go into the dice example, the formats are generally the same. So you're able to go into the settings of the actual dice itself, and you can go and change the numbers of dice that you want, the shape of the dice, traditional lettering, text, and also the colors, should you wish to do that. Again, on this front page, I'm going to go and sign in a moment, because this is quite important to have your devices connected to the board. You can connect to the board in multiple ways now. So whether you're on your laptop, whether you're on your device, whether you're on your iPads, or indeed your phone, because you can Chromecast to this as well. You will need an app called Screen Share, and we'll send that out with these videos as well. So you can go to Smart Screen Share, and you can share your screen from your laptop directly to this, and it involves the touch as well. And you have your touch capability with the pens. So I'm going to go out of this now. I'm going to go into Screen Share before I go into the whiteboard itself, because most of the time we want our devices from our students to be here. Now, we have tested this and we have walked all the way to the end of the corridor, and you could still get quite a solid connection with an iPad. Again, you can use AirPlay. It's not 100% at the moment. It may get better and faster. You can just pull down a mirror like you normally do on an iPad and mirror directly to this board. Each board has a name. So this one here is Year 12137. And you can go and also type in the IP address, and the IP address is both for the iPad app and your laptop, and we'll show that in a separate video, of course. You've got your instructions on how to do this from different devices. You can screencast a actual tab, just a single tab in Chrome or in Microsoft Edge. You can go to Settings, More Tools, and Cast Media. to this. Let's go and get an iPad now. So while it's broadcasting at the moment, when you go into your drop-down menu, into your control center here, you can go to mirroring, and you will see the list of all iPads, devices, Apple TVs that are broadcasting across the school. You need to go and find the one that's here. So I've got year 12137. Just while I've been talking, it's been able to populate, and I can go and mirror my screen, hopefully. And so while we're mirroring, we can just see the latency and how fast this is. So I'm going left, right. It is very, very fast. So one of the things you're able to do with your students, just for fun, in the lower school especially, is something like a treasure hunt. So if you just tap on the camera, you're able to go and use the camera function to go around school and have some kind of guidance, particularly in something like Microsoft Teams. So you may have a class team channel that you're able to go and guide the children. So if we pop into our home, for example, we go to our screen share. While this is mirroring, you will be able to go and see up to 4 devices mirrored here at the same time. So if I quickly go into my home and I go into my HDMI, this is the smart screen share. So this is on the iPad as well. It's the same. It looks exactly the same. The only difference is that you have to use your broadcasting with the broadcast button that you'd see in Microsoft Teams if you want to share your screen using an iPad. Here you put in your IP address and then you can connect. The IP address is on that home share button. Into here, into screen share, and you put in that IP address that's unique to this board into your screen share function. So within that screen share app, you can then move around the classroom, and you're able to use the pen touch on your device and sit with the children, behind the children, with the children. You can get away from the desk and teach through the board with the students at the same time. So what we're going to do is have a look at our home screen here. We've got another function down here called apps. This takes us into a kind of Play Store, an Android Play Store. So inside here, there are applications that you can go and download and use from your account, from your school account. You can sign into this and you can download these. These have been optimized for this board, this particular version of Android. They're pretty much educational apps as standalone. You can see you've got different browsers and that, and you've also got Microsoft apps and some sort of quintessential apps here. So you've got VLC for Android and things like that, which allow you to play video. Should you have a USB and you want to go and run the video directly from the USB, I would strongly advocate for VLC. It can play absolutely anything. So let's just go back out of here for a second. So in my apps, I've got my gallery, which is the photographs that are on here. We understand that. Music, same thing. Camera is that USB document camera that you can plug into it. And then this smart cap board, if I just open this up, this is for a separate video because it's rather powerful. You're able to live write and draw on here. And while you write and draw, you are able to get this real time onto your devices and your iPads in the classroom using the QR code that is usually populated in the bottom. The students will have the CAP app themselves and they can see what's going on, record what's on the screen, take a screenshot, reuse what it is that you are talking about, and then send it back to you from any learning intention project-based learning, ideas, ideation, or any kind of number work or letter work that they're using. So they're able to go and send that back to you. I'll do another separate video on that. Again, calculator self-explains. So that brings us to the end of the introduction of how to use the board. Any questions, you can get them to me as and when you see fit. Thank you.